Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Hair Healer Podcast. I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you for listening, tuning in. I just want to let you know, if you want to help out the podcast, if you love the podcast, I get that question all the time, how I can help. Please rate, review, subscribe, send this to someone that you know it would help, you would like. Please follow me on Instagram at the Hair Healer 1111, Facebook page, the Hair Healer Facebook page. If you have a question, you want to be on the podcast, any suggestions, you just want to write, email me, thehairhealerpodcast@yahoo.com. All right, let me jump into this episode. So I am recording, but we're doing a little virtual recording. It's a snowstorm, but we're in Philly with Chrissy from Philly Experiences. Philly Experiences is the ultimate guide to Philly's Black and LGBTQ culture. So I'm really excited about this. Say hello, Chrissy.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Colleen. I'm extra hyped to be here.
I'm so happy. We tried to do this back in the fall, but in person, but that didn't work out. And I met Chrissy, I want to say now, we were just talking on the internet about 2 years ago. We met on Instagram, and she had just started the Philly Experiences, and I was super interested in that, and I loved her vibe, her energy, and we maintained friends. And here we are for this episode. So tell us a little bit more about the Philly Experiences, and then we'll jump into your story.
Philly Experiences is a great passion project that's actually turning into a full-time business, which I love.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Did you plan on that, or were you just like, this is going to be something I love and kind of support my community and put out there? Or did you anticipate was the main goal for it to sort of take off?
No, I don't think I took myself serious in entrepreneurship in any facet of any portion of my life. Except photography a little bit. I thought I was going to be like editorial photographer for Harper's Bazaar or Essence or something, but didn't know the proper steps. So no, it just started as a thought. I hope people love the hood as much as I did. And I just went for it. I didn't get any confirmation from any of the businesses or any place that I went. I was like, nobody knows why I'm here with people. Let's just see. So I just tested it out. It originated when I was a teenager.
Really? Now, when Philly Experiences started, were you doing like personal tours too? Were you taking people on personal tours, or just setting them up for experiences that they could go to? What's actually going on? What way?
Well, Philly Experiences, it was a thought process. I didn't even have the name at the time. I was hosting right here in this apartment in Germantown through Airbnb first. My sister told me about Airbnb. I thought it was genius. And I moved out of her place to find an apartment to do Airbnb, to test it out. I don't know why I've always wanted to do a bed and breakfast when I was younger. I wanted to do a lot of random things that I had no clue why. So I said, let's see. Like, I can afford the rent anyway, but if I can get half off because I'm letting someone stay on the weekend, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
So I did. And it turned out really well.
Oh, so it went well.
To do it. Yeah. Like, I moved in October, but I didn't put my place up until March because I was nervous. Like, okay, but I noticed that I never saw my neighbors. I'm like, that's perfect. The building was quiet. That was perfect. And I was like, okay, let's see. I put my listing up in March of 2017, I believe it was. And within the first week, all of my weekends in April were sold out. And I said, oh, snap. I knew it because location. Germantown is beautiful. Yeah. It's eccentric. It's eclectic. And
did you leave?
It's its own bubble.
Did you just rent out the room, or would you leave and give the whole apartment or house or whatever?
I gave my whole apartment, and I went back to my sister's and slept on her couch on the weekend.
Yeah, worth it for money.
Yeah, her sofa bed was not that comfortable. So I only lasted, my longest guest was like 8 days here.
Okay.
Like a scientist who came into town to do work at Drexel. And she needed the place for 8 days. That was painful on my back, staying at my sister's. So I was like, okay, I'm going to limit it to only like 3-4 days out the week at most. And it still went well. It went well. So Airbnb released what they call experiences. And I already had the idea right away. They sent the email saying, hey, there's something that you can do in your community? And I was like, ding, ding, ding. Yes, bar crawl. So you were only allowed to apply for 2 experiences. So I did my bar crawl because I knew nightlife was needed and necessary. And I shot my photography through there. So I met up with tourists who wanted to get non-touristy shots. That's always been my approach, is to get you out of touristy neighborhoods, or what I call tourist traps, into other neighborhoods that has just as pretty or better backgrounds, because it's more urban, it's more authentic to the city. And they were both received really well. And once my reviews were coming in and Airbnb could trust me, I sent them everything I have. And I'm up to like 10 experiences that's approved through the platform that a lot of people don't even know about.
Wow. So you have, I had never done the experiences through Airbnb, but I had just learned about them maybe a year ago. So you are still set up there to take people on these experiences through Airbnb and stuff. Well, once quarantine and that,
I enjoyed the partnership for sure. I love that I can get the attention of a global audience. Like, I'm never going to turn that down. Airbnb's been a little frustrating in their support of the host, so I don't blame the host that did leave, but that's what makes me want to stay more, because Airbnb experiences is not known. A lot of people are like slow to be like, oh, you can do something else on there besides renting your home. And I like, yeah, you can come with me to the hood in the daytime. You can come with me to the hood at night. You can come with me to open mic. You can do my food crawl. You can do my party bus. You can do my game night right here in my apartment I used to host. I could fit like almost 20 people in this little space. I could make it work. And I mean, pre-pandemic.
Yes.
And now I offer virtual experiences to keep people connected in these tough times.
So what happened with this? Because again, we met like on there 15 months before probably COVID happened, and I was watching you build this. So all of a sudden, there couldn't be any Philly experiences. We couldn't even go and experience things. So what happened? Did you jump right into the virtual platform? How'd you handle that?
No, I was in complete denial, probably like a lot of us in the beginning. I was working as a nanny at the time that the city was officially shutting down in March. And I was just happy to be off of work, get paid to do so. I'm like, this is great. I don't mind. It shouldn't take too long. This is just in time for tourist season. Like, let's get this over and done with. 2020 is about to be a really great year.
Yes.
And I think I was in denial until like May. And I was like, okay.
Okay, something is happening, changing.
Yeah, they were like, oh, we might open in July. And I'm like, there's still hope. And it just started to decrease the closer we got to July 1st. And they're like, no. And I said, wow, my summer shot. The money dried up at the job that I was at. They did not have to pay me for those 6 weeks off, but they did. So I love them for that. And yeah, I got really nervous. So no, tourism was completely shut down. And that was the biggest lesson I had to learn, was Airbnb was my main source of income. I wasn't advertising outside of them.
Oh, wow.
So that's where I had to get my life in order and figure out marketing and branding and making my brand awareness campaign serious and engage more on social media. So I just took it as a time to, an opportunity to learn video. Like I have a Canon that shoots video, but I bought it because it shot video, but never played around with it. So now I had time on my hands to learn that. I had time on my hands to be a student of YouTube University, which I always say I'm a student of YouTube University forever. And I just watch videos on different camera angles and shots and marketing and how to grow your social media. So I took it time to learn, which I love And I made the most of this pandemic. Besides gaining 15, 20 pounds, I gained back in knowledge.
Which is huge. Knowledge self. Did you have any sort of dark nights of the soul, right? As we all had during this time, or things that come up, like any of that?
Yes, mine started 2018 for sure. That year, just everything was falling apart.
What happened?
Well, financially, up to that point, I was working full time in Ardmore previously. I had a car, had this apartment, so I had multiple streams of income. I was saving. I didn't trust banks, so I was like the old lady with the shoebox. And I loved it. And I think it's because I fell into life having blinders on.
Yeah.
My life was so structured. I didn't like it and never wanted a structured lifestyle. Never wanted it.
For a Capricorn, you never wanted it?
That's so crazy. Yeah. I understand structure. Like, I give it to my daughters, but I don't want it. I want to choose my days off. I want to choose like working 8 to 6, 5 days a week, and then hosting guests on the weekends, and also trying to do photography, and also trying to be a mom, also trying to be a decent daughter and a friend. And I was wearing myself out. So it slowly started to chip away, and I didn't see it falling apart, especially until it hit financially. Like, my car was really being a pain. I found myself at the mechanic often. So that was costing me money. And I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to go to work 5 days a week. I'm going to ask them for 3. They was able to find a nanny for the other 2 days. I loved it. So now I gave myself time off. Experiences popped up. So I said, perfect. I could work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, have off Thursday, work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday if necessary, because my experiences were no more than 4 hours long. And I'm like, I can do that. Let's see what happens. No. From there, my car eventually had to go.
Aww.
I had to sell it. Yeah. And I was like, fine. I'll do Uber and Lyft. That's perfect. I can still control my hours. That was like speaking to my soul. I get to meet people, tell them about my tours. Perfect. I'm going to have at least one tourist a day in my car. And so I went and bought a minivan, and my mechanic checked it out and everything, and it didn't matter. I was going to trick out this minivan, right? Like, I bought it.
Make it a Philly Experiences van.
Yeah, I was going to get it wrapped. I was going to still do what I needed to do. And I just wanted to carry more people so that I can get multiple trips, and take larger groups, because I worked 8 p.m. to sometimes 5 a.m. picking up the nightlife crowd, which I love.
It's probably a lot of fun.
I cared about getting them home safely, especially the single women. And I got quite a few of them drunk in the back seat that I'm so happy I was the one to get them home. Or someone working McDonald's until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Because I'm out, they made it home safely. Like, that meant a lot to me. But it didn't matter, because 2 weeks into having this van, the whole electrical panel went. And so I had to junk it. Yeah. I cussed my mechanic out. And he was like, I can't see the electrical panel. Like, I plugged my machine in, everything came up fine. You can't see everything. And I was so upset.
Oh, yeah.
But me being a Capricorn, I tried to pivot. And so this is September 2018, sold my original car, which is an Xterra. October, got this van. Didn't matter. 2 weeks later, had to junk it. November, I went and signed up for Flex Drive through Lyft, where you rent their car.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, you can't beat this. Brand new 2018. I can't remember the make and model. It didn't matter. It was brand new, and it was not my responsibility. I just paid them to hold it every week. They took care of maintenance. It was they had a rewards program. The more you drive, the cheaper your rental was. And they did monthly checks, and insurance was included. It sounded perfect, right? No.
What
I
happened?
had that car for 6 days when someone pulled out and hit me and kept going. So now
No.
I'm in this brand new rental for 6 days. I just only worked the week before. And I was on my way to start working again that same day. It was my sister's birthday, November 8th, 2018. I just dropped off some food as a gift. And I was like, I picked up my daughter from daycare, dropped her off. Thank goodness she wasn't in the car because they would have hit her side where her
Oh my
car
God.
seat was. And they hit the right passenger side door and kept going. And I just had to sit there and cry and be upset. Like, I just had 2 cars in my name and you wait until I'm in a rental.
Just-
So I went through 3 cars in 3 months.
Wow.
And I said, okay, I'm going to hang up driving.
I was
Like,
just say,
I'm
so what
scared
did you
now.
do when that third one happened? Were you just, I mean, my mom always said things come in threes. So were you just like,
And I believe that too.
like, I'm done. I can't do this right now. Like, it was just too much.
I was traumatized. I still haven't been fully behind the wheel.
You
like
have
last year, yeah, I may have driven 5 times since the accident.
So you kind of, so you never got a car again yet, and you just sort of,
No.
and you've had sort of a fear of driving.
Yeah, I got behind the wheel only because one of my girlfriends made me do it. Like her dad just had like cataract surgery. He needed to get home, and I was like, okay. And it was from Jersey to Philly because he lived in Germantown with me. So I was like, okay, it's the highway, it's nighttime, shouldn't be too many people out. And I just carefully got us back very nervously. And I was happy to do it. And then she made me do it again. I was like, all right, you pushing it.
Aw.
But then my girlfriend, she had her car and we would go to the shore and she didn't like driving the pier. So I would drive hers. I was like, all right, I'm getting a little better. And I was very slow and she was very patient with me. And then we was able to go to the shore a couple of times because there was nothing else to do last year. So yeah, I've driven to the shore, but no, I've not gotten a car myself. I still have a dream of this party van. It's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen. I see it with like Philly experiences on the side. I see the whole inside being decked out. It's absolutely going to happen.
Yeah.
So
I think I haven't gotten a car more to the financial lack more than anything. Like I would want to get one, but when I say everything took a turn and went downhill, that just continued. Like I'm not working this nanny job. I tried to work the one in Narberth because it was much closer. I can get to work in 15 minutes from where I was at instead of 45 minutes in Ardmore because of City Avenue wonderful drivers. And it was just a big difference. And so not having any car, I couldn't even work in Narberth because I wasn't going to be walking to their house. I could have, but it was just a lot. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take this time to myself and heal. And so that's what I did.
And so that's what you did. So let me tell you let me ask you this, because a lot of people, you have such a pleasant and wonderful spirit about you and about that. And I can just see you're one of those people who just keep it moving and stay positive. What helped you in those moments? Because I'm sure in those moments for people listening, like when everything is going wrong and you feel like your whole world is blowing up, like what kept you strong? What kept you hopeful? Kept you faith that it's going to be okay?
Honestly, nothing. I was in a dark place of like, what is happening? What am I missing? Do I have to start over? Do I have to give up this apartment and move back in with my sister? Get on her nerves again. Do I have to cramp their space? And it was almost impossible to do so because she was in the middle of selling her house and she's been trying to sell it for a while. And she finally sold it around this time. So she was moved into a much smaller house where if I moved there, I'd be living on the porch. It was just no space. And she would have happily and easily made space. I could have shared a bed with my sister. She's so amazing.
Aww.
And so I didn't want to do that, but I think having enough decent people around who were not also in their low moments were able to keep me up.
Yeah.
Like I could have been evicted. And almost was like at least 3 times. At least 3. Yeah.
In the last year?
One of my friends, No, definitely since 2018.
Okay.
Probably 2019. Yeah, I had a good amount of savings. So I always pay rent in advance because of that. Like ever since I've had my first apartment, I always try to pay like 3 months in advance because I don't like monthly commitments. I pay my cell phone months in advance. Just having commitment issues that
it's just a little
to my relationship. It all came out in a wash, as they say.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so thankfully I just was able to I didn't realize that I wasn't an intimate person. I wasn't that vulnerable with people.
Well, that's the Capricorn part.
Yeah, I'm an open book. I would talk about any portion of my life with anyone. I've had amazing, deep conversations with complete strangers downtown because random people love to walk up to me and start talking to me. And I just happen to have time to talk to them back. And we stand on the corner and we're talking for 3 hours.
Wow.
I've done it so many times, especially when I'm in Center City. I think that adds to why I'm doing Philly experiences.
I love that.
Because I've always been like a kind face that tourists always approach. Like, hey, you look like you're from here and where should we go? That's not this stuff. And I would tell them.
Where's your favorite place to take people on the Philly experiences? Some of your favorites when you could take people. Eventually we'll get back to that.
Yeah, I'm still doing my daytime hood tour now.
Where does the daytime hood tour go?
Okay. Morals and Murals, Tales from Our Hood experience is a 3-hour adventure that starts downtown. We always going to start where the central location. So we meet at City Hall. I give them a speech about how Dilworth Park is new and well taken care of. And they literally have people standing out there to collect your trash because you can't find the trash can, tourists and locals. And yet in 10, 15 minutes, we hit 52nd Street where we're not given the same courtesy because it's a lower income neighborhood.
Really?
And so we shop on 52nd Street. Yep. So they see the drastic difference.
Wait, so what happens in drastically? I don't know anything about the city. So like they stop maintaining that part of the city? Like what do you mean? Is that what like?
Yes. Just imagine, I know Narberth has like a main street of shops, like the mom and pop shops, the hair salons. I know Ardmore does. I know every little nook has its main street of stores, and there's no trash on the street. Just not any. Not the case in West Philly. 52nd Street is considered their main street. It literally says it in the potholes. Every single pothole says 52nd Street is West Philadelphia's main street.
Wow.
Literally says it, and it's not taken care of. There's trash. They don't power wash the stairs like they do at City Hall every single night, I think. Like it just doesn't get the same courtesy.
And can you make anyone, that is unfortunate. And do they just don't come and do it? They do it once in a while. Do people can you call them? Not to sound stupid, to be like, yo, come do this. It's your responsibility.
That is definitely putting me on the spot on whether or not calling would make a difference. I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I'm happy you brought it up. I love when my guests ask me questions and put me on the spot. Like, I've learned so much because of the questions asked, because of my tours. Like, I'm not a historian. I don't talk about the history of the city. I talk about my personal history, that I can prove, like the facts about my life from my perspective. I share that.
I love that.
Throughout the story, and we learned a few things along the way. So I am unaware of how often they do clean it. I just think they want it to be a responsibility of the store owners, which they don't do downtown, and it's not the same and it's not fair.
Not fair at all.
I will say after the murder of Walter Wallace Jr., 52nd Street never looked better. Suddenly, because it's getting national attention, the street sweepers were out. There were literally 10, 20 people at a time in shirts that volunteer. I think it's even the neighbors that came out and cleaned it themselves of the broken glass. And it looked amazing. Yeah. Do it look like that now? No.
It doesn't?
No.
Oh.
We pay the same 22% in taxes as everyone else.
That's ridiculous.
Unless you're rich. And we don't get the same courtesy. So we start in 52nd Street, but my tour highlights the beauty. You can see the obvious of like, just because it doesn't look a certain way, doesn't mean it doesn't have an amazing feeling. When we're downtown, no one speaks to us. Tourists, are busy being touristy, looking up, and locals are busy in their phone,
looking down
with life with their blinders on. Yeah, they're looking down in their phone. And when you go out to 52nd Street and all the other neighborhoods, people still speak. They're excited to see us. Everybody at least give a head nod or hey or good morning or something. Like there's still more courtesy in the hood. There's still just a different level of respect, and it's amazing. So we enjoyed the murals, which is a huge part of the city's culture.
That's cool.
But the ones in the hoods feature Black faces, feature Black artists. They are amazing.
I love that.
And I encourage it. Yeah, I hope you come out and make it to one of my
as you're I swear to God, I was actually in my head thinking as you're talking that we should go do this and we should record it, like film it.
Please.
Like I would love it, and we could do the whole Philly tour. I would love that, and I think it's so important as we're merging together, right? As we're part of changing the new world and evolving the new world to do this experience, to open your mind to everyone, and this is about bringing us all together, right? I'm sure that's a huge part of what you're doing. This.
I have two hashtags and sayings that I love, and it keeps evolving, which I love. And my first one for my experiences that came to me, I think right away, was, "Are you done being the tourist yet?" Wow. And I love it because I find that it should speak to locals too, because we have our blinders. We know where we're going on the weekend. We go to our favorite bar, our favorite restaurants. We tend to not change or fluctuate in something new often enough. Not too many of us. I know me as a Capricorn, I don't like surprises.
You're like, don't surprise me.
Yeah, I'll try something new, just don't surprise me with it. Like, explain. I have a lot of questions before I go.
Now, what's your favorite?
I always say I'll try something new. I'll try something twice. Once drunk, once sober. After that,
once drunk. I love that. Once drunk, once sober. What is your on your restaurant crawl or any of them that you do? What's your favorite restaurant? Do you have a favorite place that you love to tell people or bring them? Do you bring them into the restaurant too and eat, or what do you?
So yeah, my most popular experience was nightlife, because I was able to do it 7 days a week because the bars and clubs are open, and is now called Cheesesteak and Trap Music Bar Crawl.
I love that.
Right. It's straight to the point. You know what you're getting. If you're interested in cheesesteak, there's soul food, there's seafood. Like, we're known for more than cheesesteak here locally. We have amazing chefs, and we love seasoning. And and the food is delicious in every single spot we go to, because it's places that I was already going as a single female and never had a problem. The food never been disappointing. So I literally just decided to take people to places I was already going. And so if you want a cheesesteak and you've already been disappointed by Pat's and Geno's, because you will be, you can come get a real one. Where's the real one?
What's your favorite? Where's the real ones? What are they called?
My tour featured Max's Steak, which is at Germantown and Erie. D'Alessandro's is a great one over there in Manioc, Roxborough.
People love I've heard of that one. People love how do you say D'Alessandro's or whatever?
Yes.
I've heard of that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, people love that one.
Yeah, but realistically, anywhere you stand in the city, if you find a poppy store, then that's a corner store that's colorful, that says hot food, you can go in and get a better cheesesteak than the two in South Philly.
Oh, hell yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that, absolutely. Now, do you have plans this summer to open the tours back up? Like, what are your plans for that? Or are you just going to kind of wait and see how the world is?
Oh, no, it's happening. 2021 is the year.
Yes, it is, baby. Yes, it is. You better start. Listen, yes.
I went through the Saturn conjunction thing in December, and I felt, so these last 3 years led up to my spiritual death. And I'm very happy that I got to the other side of it. So many things have fallen away. This facade that I was carrying is gone. And I'm in this rebirth. So I can't believe what I did, what I was able to accomplish in this death to get to this point. Like, I was doing what people are trying to do now because it's a trend.
I know.
Help Black people. We shouldn't be a trend, just help another human being.
Yes.
So I was already doing it. I never charge any of these businesses to bring customers to them for free, to support them for free. I just charge the tourists because they already spending money coming into the city.
Yeah.
The city was getting $12 billion 2018 in tourist money. All of that is downtown. I didn't see it in the hood. We should have excellent schools. $12 billion? What's the problem? What is the problem? Once I saw that number, I'm like, no, we got to spread the wealth. Even the Airbnb experiences that are currently on there, most of them are still downtown. I was the first one to operate outside of touristy areas.
Outside of touristy.
Other areas of the city.
The Philadelphia school districts, it's not good. It's kind of a big mess, right?
Only because it's set up to be that way. Because I was fortunate enough to walk away from my full-time nanny job and do 2 days a week, I made it a point to volunteer in my daughter's school.
Aww. And
volunteering would be the change for all of these schools. We can see it firsthand. I hope this pandemic helped people realize that companies can live without us indoors, being in the office. And B, I hope we get to the point of 3 to 4 day work week so we can use that other time to spend it with our children and loved ones.
Yeah.
And make up for the time lost. I was in my daughter's school. She's 9 now. So as soon as she started pre-K, I started pre-K, and I sat my big ass in that little seat, and I and I was a student all over again. And you learn so much from these young kids, and that surprised me the most. But I also learned how overwhelmed and frustrated the teachers can be. So I only wanted to do 1-2 days a week, couple hours a day. I was literally there full time for free, being a room mom. I was there just to offer the kids hugs and support because the teacher has to move on with her lesson plan. I was there to comfort the kids who didn't get any sleep last night because their little brother and sister was crying because it's a newborn baby. Like, these kids were going through it. You can tell who didn't eat. You can tell who didn't get their clothes washed in a few days. I was there just to be a comfort. And they were calling me mom. And I had I get called mom by so many kids I don't know, just being a nanny. Like, I'm taking care of your kid all day. I get called mom. And I tell them, like, no, mommy and daddy's at work. And I would tell these kids, like, I'm not your mom, but thank you. Like, I miss Chrissy. And I take it as a compliment, but your mom wouldn't want to hear you say that. No need to be fighting in the schoolyard.
I know, she would. Well, you have a very natural motherly energy about you too. Just that very your smile, like you said, you have that very warm, comforting, energy to people and to kids. That's huge, especially kids that need that energy.
Exactly. Well, I've been a nanny on and off for 15 years, right along with being a photographer. They worked hand in hand because I thought I'd be able to pick my own schedule with both, and I can. I want to go back Monday through Thursdays and shoot weddings on the weekend, I can. If I want to work Monday through Wednesday and do hood tours, all the rest of the days, I can. So I'm back to being at the I can do what I want phase. And I take it as a huge compliment that kids and animals like me, respect me, and old people smile at me and they say, you have kind eyes. And I look for kind eyes in other people too, especially with mask on. Like, I love it.
I love that.
Even dating now, on these dating apps, I look for people with kind eyes and a warm smile.
How's the dating apps going?
Ooh, it's been fun. I mean,
I've been on a dating app myself.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've never done it. I'm a serial monogamist, so it's been interesting to I've sort of had it as an experience. And there's so many. It's just crazy. There's a lot of crazy people out there, and not crazy in a bad. I'm crazy, but just you know what I'm talking about. If you've been on a dating app, it's sort of wild.
People are themselves and so many people are refusing to be themselves at the same time. So I just take it as fun and lightheartedness. Like, I was in a relationship, one of the many millions of people that broke up in 2020.
Yeah, I got divorced in 2020, but it was,
Exactly, because we were all learning ourselves. So I'm enjoying the single loving on me portion. I'm just open to friends. So I'm literally on like Bumble, where you can find girlfriends to hang out with. I started a meetup group throughout the pandemic called Girl Wine About It, so that we could just drink wine and talk shit about being in this pandemic. Like,
that's a clever title. That was a very clever title.
Thank you. I'm getting better with these titles and captions.
You're good. And you're good. And it's funny because do you know what your rising sign is?
It is so unclear. I had my chart done. One of those 3-hour conversations I end up having with a complete stranger happened to be this little short white guy, like his 70s, who's a spiritual advisor. And he did my chart. And I wish I could find it, but my sister and them moved so many times and they don't care about my stuff as much as I do. So I don't know where it's at. If you can find, it's unclear what time I was born. My mom been telling me I was born at 12:34 a.m. on January 16th my entire life, but my birth certificate is blank. So I don't know if I just take her word.
Just take her word. If that's all you know, I would take her word.
Okay.
Because it's probably close to that time if it's not, you know. Because I just see, with some of the things with the rising, I see very Mercury in you, especially with the cleverness of picking up words. So you either have Mercury probably in its home sign of Virgo or Gemini, or you might be, I feel like maybe a Virgo rising, but still there's a little, maybe like a Gemini moon. I don't know. There's just some stuff in there. It's good stuff. That's good.
Yeah, I've always been into reading. I was an avid reader growing up. That was my escapism. Like, I threw myself in the book and got involved in someone else's imaginary problems. Being in a household with up to 15 people at one time.
Wait, you lived with 15 people?
And alone. Yeah, in North Philly, which is now called Templetown, unfortunately, due to gentrification.
What's it called? What part?
I had 15. They call it Templetown.
Templetown. Why? I don't know what that even means.
Because Temple board up everything.
Oh, Temple. I'm sorry. I thought you were saying Temple, like simple, like Templetown. That's why I was like, what? Okay. No. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, Temple board up a lot of stuff. My grandma, I was raised in the house with my grandma and my mom. Grandma Leo, my mom Cancer. So.
Did they fight all the time?
Oh, the whole house did.
So you probably then, I'm guessing, were sort of the peacemaker, or you just have to go escape and find your peace. Just be like, let me get out of this chaos.
Yeah, I would escape. I shut down. I didn't like it. I don't like the loudness, the confrontation, the argue. I don't argue now. Like, I'd rather just get quiet, because I understood at an early age, like, it's two people who are adamant that they're right. They should probably cool off.
Yeah.
So
wow.
Them yelling was pointless, because no one's hearing the other person. I know I'm not hearing somebody when I'm yelling.
Yeah.
So I don't like to get to the point of yelling. I'd rather just shut down and process. So, that's been a thing. So yeah, being raised in that house, my grandma she's always taking in people. Usually it's family. I'm sure she's taking in strangers. She'll feed the neighborhood. So I got that from her, even though she was evil as a Leo and me. She still gay. I don't know where her other sign was. But I took that in and always wanted to be a foster parent before an actual parent. I didn't want to lose my shape. I was very vain. Didn't want to push a child out, because I'm like, there's so many kids out there that needs a mom. I could just borrow a couple until they're 18. Which is how I became a nanny. It's like, I can get my fix. I get paid to play with your child and teach them how to go to the potty. Sign me up.
Yep. So you're not currently nannying anymore?
I walked away last year, finally in the fall. Like, I considered going back, because the whole summer I went without damn near any income. And just like the rest of my savings, I paid as far in advance of rent that I could. And once it was really drying up, I said, okay, outside is not opening. babies are still being born. I should probably at least go back. But something in me was like, I've never been miserable being a nanny, but the last position really challenged me because I'm an outdoorsy, hands-on, let's go see the world nanny. Like, when I was downtown as a nanny in Rittenhouse, me and the baby would walk to Penn's Landing. Like, I would be out. Like, you have to see people, you have to interact. Like, we at the parks, we're talking to other nannies. In this position, the boy, unfortunately, was like allergic to everything.
Oh no!
And they were scared to literally let him leave the house.
Oh,
so
no.
I was stuck and I called him. Maybe they'll hear this one day. I called your son Bubble Boy because he was in a bubble.
Yeah.
They put him in the bubble, and I don't blame him. Like, my daughter never had any allergies. So I can't imagine if she eat fish or peanut butter or any type of nut and it caused a huge reaction that might kill her because she can't breathe. So that scared me. And I'm like, how did I end up in this position that I'm with this family with so many restrictions, where that's the one thing I don't want is this many restrictions. So I was like, how did I end up in this position? It opened up my eyes. So yeah, it was a relief to not have to go back into the bubble for sure and get all that fresh air that I did throughout the summer. And I'm sure they would have taken me back if outside opens. But at some point, the wife got laid off.
Yeah,
so
and it just all evolved.
Home anyway. Yeah, it didn't even matter. But I can easily go back for sure. Something in my gut was like, being a nanny will always be there.
Always.
I think the time is now to go hard as if nothing else matters for Philly experiences.
Wow.
So that's what I've been doing.
I love that, Mike. Since the fall, and I've been watching you. So my next question is, what is the future of the Philly experiences that's manifested right now? What do you see? What's your vision?
Philly experiences is evolving beautifully into the world of virtual experiences. I thought about it at the beginning of the pandemic. I definitely did, because Airbnb, of course, is like, hey, you got something to go offer virtually? And I was like, maybe my X-rated game night, which they denied and said, oh, it doesn't fit. I said, I literally have it on your platform now in person. So it's like, they were being ridiculous. And I was like, I can't rely on them. They're not my mom, my dad. They're not like that. Rely on them. So let me try to do it myself. And so I just promoted and marketed myself, which has been great and is, slowly gaining traction. So my X-rated game night is no longer just X-rated. So if you want to do a girls' night and you want to be a bit more PG, like the 40th birthday party.
I like X-rated.
PG. Yeah, I think so. I'm huge on pleasures of life, enjoying life. So whether it's sex, I'm very sex positive. I think sex is healing. I've been through enough sexual trauma growing up to be very happy to be on the other side of it and not let sex be so traumatic. Now it's pleasurable. I used it to heal. I wanted to get into tantric sex and all sorts of beautiful pleasures of it, but I also know sex is funny. And I had so many comical moments and bloopers and oopsies.
During sex? I know.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And I've decided to we should laugh about it in game night. And the laws that are on the books, let's laugh about the laws. Like in Alabama, it's illegal to buy a dildo. That's for real.
And isn't it still like Alabama or maybe like South Carolina, it's still like illegal for a woman to have sex with it's something like that. Maybe I feel like without being married, or like if they cheat on their husband, it's some Southern if you cheat on your husband, it's illegal. It's some bullshit thing like that.
But in Hong Kong, it is legal for a woman to kill her husband with her bare hands if she finds out that he's cheating. So it's like,
wait, hold on, it's legal?
Ridiculous. It's legal for her but think about that. A little woman trying to kill her husband with her bare hands. I'm like, that's a setup.
Yeah, it sounds like it's kind of like, all right, we'll give it to you, but you're not going to be able to do it. You know?
You're not going to do it unless you're that pissed off, which a woman's strength when she's mad.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like, we laugh and have trivia about things like that. And we laugh about our own sex life. I ask questions, get people they share tips. Every single game night, someone's sharing the tips.
Can I please come to this game night the next time? The Virgin, whatever.
Please. Yes. Yes.
You just got to tell me. You got to tell me when it is. Not now, but whenever.
I'm going to put up more. One. Yeah, I've been testing the market. I realized that my experiences need to be tested, see who wants what, where. But my options are endless. I can do one for girls' night in, a birthday party, PG rated or X rated. I want to try out one for couples only. I did single ladies for Valentine's Day. I did LGBTQ last night. So it's like, it can go as far as it needs to go. And it's amazing, which I love. My hood tour still operates weekly. I'm going to add more
in person
to make up for. Yeah, the in-person hood tour is 3 hours. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you have a group of 4 more, it can be any day of the week, realistically. And it's 3 hours. And
what do you charge people? So for people listening, I
was going to get into the price. So currently, since I've started, all of my experiences have been $39 a person. But now, in this pandemic, someone dropped this marketing class in my lap. So for the past 4 weeks, I have 2 more classes left, one tonight, one next week, of taking marketing classes. And now that I'm into pricing, I'm very sure pricing is going to go up. I'm going to announce it on my page, like snag these $39 prices now, especially with Women's History Month, because I'm making history now. I'm going to leave those prices $39, but they're going up April 1st.
Wow.
For sure. So far, those are the experiences. I used to have 3D paper flowers. You know how popular they are.
Yeah.
That used to be at weddings and all the baby showers. I used to teach that here in my apartment. But now I have a couple of spaces that I can use if I want to bring the in-person game nights back. But I'm getting into party bus experiences for the summer. That way I'm in control of having a sanitized space where we all are together, and we're going to party in the city. I've already tested it out in October when we were kind of open, and I did a 25th birthday party. They came down from New York, and we did a hood tour / game night / bar crawl all in 4 hours. I curated it just for their group, and it was amazing. It was all inclusive, and it was dope. So I'm bringing that back. But my newest thing is the Beach John party buses, because we are getting out of this city. And if I can get paid to take people to the beach with a full 6-hour itinerary, I will. So we're going to the shore this summer.
Yeah, that's happening.
As we can.
Yes.
And it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be single ladies. I'm doing one for the LGBTQ community for sure, because we missed out on Pride.
Wow.
Oh my God, so many fun nights.
Yeah.
And we missed out on just connecting with people and family and whatever. So party bus experiences are here for sure. Virtual experiences. I am putting together what I call the beginner's guide to Black Philadelphia. I should say Black and LGBTQ Philadelphia.
I love that.
And it's going to be virtual. Hey, kitty.
Oh, I know. I'm like, they're always jumping around, and I thought that they were going to jump on my system. Sorry.
Yeah. So that's a virtual experience where you can get a taste of Philly virtually, and some of our murals that you can definitely see and check out, and my recommended places to go. And it's a Q&A where you can ask a native directly what you could do. That's going to be dope. I have a new partnership with Black Voyagers, which is the Black version of Airbnb. So Airbnb finally got some competition. Black Voyagers has been amazing. They reached out to me in the summer, and they finally launched February.
Are they based out of Philadelphia?
No, they're an international brand. They're in the UK.
Oh, cool.
And half of their following is here in the US. And I think they found me on Airbnb and said, "Oh, we need you." And I said, "Sign me up." So
oh my God, that's amazing.
Yes, I love it. That's the thing. I've been going hard, and just like, if I get brand awareness to happen, the customers are there. everything I do is for people. It's to get you to the other side of Philly, really. Like, you don't have to stay in the bubble of Center City. Airbnb already encouraged us to stay in a home versus a hotel.
Yeah.
And trusting that process. So now it's like, trust the local to guide you in person, hold your hand, and walk you into new experiences throughout the city and or the shore coming up. And also, I'm working on just other streams of income. I'm coming up with a PDF so that they can buy the guide to Black Philadelphia in case they don't need me and they want to go themselves and plan their own itinerary. That's my current project this week that I hope it will be done. I hope I'm manifesting
it's going to be done. You got to tell yourself.
This Sunday, it will be done.
It will be done.
Plenty of time. I am supported by the universe. It will be done by Sunday.
And you're having,
for sure.
This is going to be huge. I see Philly experiences really, especially when the world opens back up, really blasting off, right? Blasting off. And then maybe in 10, 15 years, you might have Pittsburgh experiences, New York experiences, your whole, branching out.
The goal, I'm happy you brought that up. Since day one, I've always been shy and introverted and quiet. And I'm on the other side of it now because of experiences. Like, I did it to challenge myself to talk to complete strangers every week and tell them about my city. Craziest thing I've ever done. But my motto is, if it scares you to do it scared. Someone told me that in 2018. That's how Philly experiences really became a thing of like, do it scared. I never thought of doing it that way.
Yeah.
Do it with a shaky voice. Someone will get it.
Yeah.
So if I meet people on my tour, which I often do, that has a decent personality, since day one, I say, please do this where you are too. No matter where they are, I say, someone wants you to show them around. If they're visiting, they want to do it. So I do have the blueprint to do it in any other city. And if no one has ever reached back out to me and say, well, what do I do? I would tell them absolutely for free. But now, I can sell them a webinar.
Yes. It's
like how to do this in your city.
How cool is that?
I wanted to expand. I want to hire locally, for sure, other natives who can give. I want a West Philly only version of the tour. I want a North Philly version of the tour. I'm working on a Germantown version of a tour, but it's like, I'm only one person and I'm just trying to take the downloads that the universe is giving me on like which direction to go, because it is overwhelming. I have so many ideas. I want other people to live well, helping me build this brand, and I know it will happen.
It will happen.
I've been trying to figure out crowdfunding. Like, I've been nervous about, I've always had this perfectionist thing I've been letting go of, like, what's the perfect thing to say to get the result I want? What's the perfect thing? Like,
you have to be a Virgo rising. I'm a Virgo rising. Like, we obsess about our words and the way we say things and how it is perceived. And if we said enough, if we didn't say enough, right? So it's all going to take off for you. It's all coming together. Now we're getting to the end of the episode. And so at the end of the episode, I ask a few questions. The first question, and we didn't talk too much about your childhood, but you did bring it up a little bit. And I always like to ask, if you could go back, right, to whatever time in your life was one of your hardest times, maybe when you were living with 15 other people, whatever it is, and you could see little Chrissy, what would you say to her?
Oh, that's easy. Because I've been literally doing inner child meditation and having talks with her and telling her that she's okay. We're safe now. We made it. She's protected. She won't be hurt again. So that's exactly what I tell her and keep telling her, like, girl, you're going to go through it, but it will be worth it because you're a living, breathing testimony now. I have been molested by my pastor for years.
Oh my God.
From the ages of 7 to 12. Then I was raped by a downstairs neighbor orally at age like 9, 10. I was molested by my uncle, my mom's brother, who wanted to marry me.
Oh my God.
Because I asked him, I told him about what happened with the pastor. And he was like, oh, I'm going to get him. And then he started molesting me himself. And he wanted to take my virginity. He wanted me to be his fourth wife because he was Muslim. Like, it's been some crazy stuff I've been through. I've been raped at 18, 19. Like, so much sexual trauma and so much, and just having separate, like, my dad was kind of in my life. My mom was around, but going through her own thing, being the Cancer, raised by Leo. She struggled a lot. Like, she was a teen mom. So my grandma took her out of school and made her just be a mom, you know, so she had resentment there. Like, when my mom was explosive, my mom was suicidal. I had to watch my mom cut her arm. Like, I tried to kill myself. And I thought that was the way out as a child. So yeah, my inner talks, I've written letters to my 18-year-old self.
You've done a lot of work.
Absolutely had to. Yes.
I just know what it's like to be in that state and to see how you are now. And after you've experienced a lifetime of that or a long time of that, like you have put in the work, and I can already tell just by talking to you, put in a lot of that healing work. Wow.
Yes, it's all going away. And I encourage everyone to do it themselves. Literally yourself. Sit with yourself. Meditation has saved me. Guided meditation is amazing. Whether it's
I love that. Yeah,
I need it. I try not to become dependent on it. I realized how codependent I was the last year. That's, I think, the last of the layer that was coming off. So just being into self is super important. Listening to myself. I did go into therapy 2019. Which has been amazing. And I was so happy that I found a Black therapist. That someone relatable. Like, she felt like the auntie I wish I always had, for sure. She was very, like, to the point, told me exactly what I needed to hear to shut up and not just make assumptions about life. So that chapter is over. I'm getting back into therapy for sure, because why not, while my insurance will pay for it?
Yes, I love therapy.
I'm self-healing or getting professional help, I encourage anyone and everyone to do so. We deserve that. And I had to learn what I deserved as well. That was major. Like, I lived such a simple, mentally, financially poor lifestyle. I had to get to the other side of, like, I can help people and still be wealthy and still help people.
Yes.
Still, like, I can do both. And that's not common. It's not taught. It's not heard. As a high school and college dropout due to depression and suicidal thoughts. And yet here I am on the other side of abundance in life. Like, I've always asked for spiritual abundance first, and I got it. So I know everything else is going to start working. I
love
its way in.
that.
Yes, I've always asked for that. I've always said I'm spiritually wealthy.
I'm spiritually wealthy. I'm spiritually wealthy. Say it, everyone listening. You are spiritually wealthy. Say that affirmation over and over again. Now, Chrissy, thank you. This has been an amazing episode. Where can everyone find you? Tell us your Instagram, email, your experiences. How can people find you?
Well, you can definitely find me at Philly Experiences on everything, but I'm most active on Instagram. So at Philly Experiences, make sure you put an S at the end. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me.
And then do you have like a link?
Gmail.
Do you have a website, or do you have a link to like how they can, or you figure that out if they want to take an experience, then they just like email you and figure out the pay. You know what I mean? I'm just not the payment. You get what I'm saying?
I'm still partnered through Airbnb.
Okay.
So you can't miss me for sure. Like, I'll come up as Mural and Murals Tales from Our Hood tour. You'll still see my all-inclusive photo shoots. You may see game night. I play around with what I'm adding slowly but surely onto the platform. I'm also at Black Voyagers. If you look at Philadelphia, probably one of the few that comes up. You can go to phillyexperiences.com. If you want to read up more about me, I'm constantly updating that website. And if you want to book a private experience, you can DM me on Instagram or hit me up at phillyexperiences@gmail.com. You can't miss me. Please join the movement in supporting our local small businesses, especially those in the hood, which I love. I'm a proud product of the hood. It raised me and taught me how to be this resourceful. So I can give it to you.
You're a strong feminine force, a strong, beautiful feminine force. You are.
And soft, yes.
And soft on the inside. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing your hope, your story, your journey. Everyone listening, she's beautiful, got a beautiful smile. Please go check out Chrissy at Philly Experiences and go get a real look into Philadelphia, because I know I am. I barely know Philly, and I've lived in this area for 10 years. So I know for sure. And I want the real tour. I want what you're bringing.
Yes.
I want what you're bringing.
I encourage locals to come out. You'll be surprised. People think they know their city until they hear my story and connect the dots that I do throughout the city. Please join me. Please join me.
Well, Chrissy, this is going to take off. Everything is going to take off for you. I'm excited to see where Philly Experiences is 4, 5, 10 years down the road, because I know it's going to be big. I'm really excited.
Huge. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Again, remember, rate, review, subscribe to this, whatever you're listening to it on. Send it to someone. Go to the Hair Healer Podcast Facebook page. Follow me on the Hair Healer 1111 on Instagram. And please email me, the Hair Healer Podcast at yahoo.com, if you need anything. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I love you all and have a beautiful week.